and get started. Hello, thank you for joining us. We are here today. I have myself, Shannon Cunningham, Sarah Mullins, and Abby Tan, and we're excited that you were able to join us for our live University Honors Orientation. It's a little different for us. I know we have our new normal with our stay-at-home orders that we're still practicing, but we're able to connect with you all virtually. I also wanted to extend myself for any questions that you all have. We have a Q&A section, and so we'll be managing that. So should you have any questions, definitely write your responses in the Q&A. And then right now we're not able to see or hear you all, so we're going to be heavily reliant on the questions that you write in the Q&A. So with being a part of University Honors, our program is very different than the traditional honors programs where it's based off of taking advanced AP courses. And so with the University Honors program, our goal is to have you achieve experiential learning. And so that is our goal, to have you experience things beyond the classroom, to have you go out into the world and, get your hands dirty and to experience. And so the goal ultimately is for you to become global citizen scholars. At this point, we're hoping that you all have had a chance to view our orientation PowerPoint that goes really in depth as far as our program mission, the purpose, and how you are actually able to achieve experiential learning. So we're not going to spend too much time on breaking down the different experience types and what that looks like, but I will just kind of highlight that there are 3 ways that you can complete an honors experience. And so we have our self-designed proposals, and in short, that's just where you create your own opportunity, you propose it, and then your honors advisor will review it and approve it. Our goal is to get you up and running. So we do sometimes send edits for you to do in order to get it up and approved. And then we have seminars where you actually register for a course, and it's our honors section. And so that's how you're able to get credit. And so it's no more than a class that you register for. Our honor seminars have more reflection built in, and so that's the key difference between just a general UC course and an honors course, is that we have you unpack, we have you reflect, there's more discussion and dialogue, and so that is an example of the seminars. And third, we have our pre-approved opportunities, which is no more than experiences that our department has reviewed. We deem that it meets our requirements, it matches the competency areas in which we want our students to learn and to grow, and it's more of a pre-packaged deal. And so you can apply to those, and then you're able to have that already built in reflection. There's no creation to that. So just a quick high-level overview. And now I'll turn it over to Sarah Mullins. So she is someone that I've had the pleasure of doing orientations with many a times, but of course in person. And so she'll be here talking about the experiences that she has encountered since she's been with our program. I also forgot to mention that there is about a 10 to 12 second delay in between the communication, so bear with us if there's a little gap, but I will turn it over to Sarah.
All right. Then.
Sarah, are you able to view the PowerPoint?
Yes, my slide is just not up yet. Oh, there I am.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Hi, guys. My name is Sarah Mullins. I'm a 4th year studying marketing with a double minor in business analytics and psychology. I have done these orientations for the past couple years, and I always look forward to seeing all of your bright, shining faces really early in the morning before we hand you off for orientation. So I'm a little sad that I don't get to see all of you. but I look forward to seeing you all in the fall, hopefully in the honors office in our lounge. So today I'll be talking about some of my experiences. As you can see, there's a couple of them listed up here. I think I'm up to 9. I've sort of stopped counting because it's a great opportunity to just do a lot of things, so I do as many as I can. So I'm going to give you a brief overview of what I have here and go in detail in one in particular. So as you can see, travel is one of the things that I'm extremely passionate about. So I've done 4 study abroads, well, 3 technically. Most recently, I was supposed to be in South Africa working with small business owners, but unfortunately due to COVID, I wasn't able to travel there, but I hope someday in the future I will be able to. I went to Iceland to study travel writing. I went to Chile to study astronomy, anthropology, and geology and photography, and Vienna to study music. I've done a couple of seminars. Some are about exploring leadership, as you can see on the screen. I've also done some regarding marketing. And then I designed my own experience, and I was on the Honors Advisory Council. One of the great things about the honors program is that every student gets their own experiences. It's not one size fits all. You get to find the things that you're passionate about and do those. So as you can see, travel is one of my passions, so a lot of my experiences align around that. But I also absolutely love our honors program, which is why I'm an honors ambassador, and I wanted to share that with all of you. And was on our Honors Advisory Council. Sorry, tripped over my words a bit there. So that was a really incredible thing to be a part of. I've also gotten to interview some of our new advisors for positions. I was on the board that helped determine what some seminar proposals would become classes. So all of our professors and all of our classes that are specifically honors have to go through a process to get approved not only by honors faculty, but other professors and students. So every experience is tailored to exactly what our students need, which is really exciting. And I think it's great that we get to be so involved in the process. So the experience that I wanted to focus on is travel writing in Iceland. I was hoping to be able to focus on South Africa because I was really excited about the philanthropy aspect of that one. But unfortunately, since I wasn't able to travel there, I wanted to focus more on travel on Iceland. So over winter break, I was able to travel to Iceland with a class of students. And we did a lot of things that I probably never would have gotten to experience otherwise. We hiked a glacier, we went horseback riding, we hiked waterfalls, we explored the city, went to the symphony. We saw the Northern Lights, which was absolutely breathtaking. And what was really great about this experience is over the course of the semester, we were studying writing, which I was a journalist in high school, so getting back into writing was really important to me. But we were also doing journals, where we were reflecting over the course of the semester and writing blogs. And then we published it on our honors portfolios. What was really cool about that is I continue to journal even now because reflection has become such a big part of my life thanks to the honors program, continuing to reflect regularly. And what's great about these classes is that you get a lot out of them. Besides just the traveling with an incredible group of people, you get to experience amazing things and learn a lot. Each one of my experiences impacted me in a different way, and I am so thankful to the honors program that I had the opportunity to experience those. And we didn't put all of my experiences up here because we wanted some space for advice. So my advice to all of you is to step out of your comfort zone and do the things that intimidate you, because that's where the best adventures start. I've learned that a lot with the honors program, and so I hope you all get to see that as well.
All right, bear with me as we do our transition.
And while we do the transition, I can also answer the questions that were posted. So we did have a question, what will be happening to the honors summer trip before school starts? We do typically have an annual welcome retreat, and it will be virtual this year instead of heading out to Camp Kern. And then for the honors trips for the year, you can actually go to honors or uc.edu/honors, and you go to current students. There's a list of all of our all of the seminars that are posted both for this fall and spring. So you can actually already see those if you're interested.
Alrighty, so now we are going to turn it over to Abby Tan, and we're going to have her experiences on a slide as well. Let me get that for you. Abby, are you able to view your PowerPoint slide?
Yeah, can everyone hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
Okay, cool. So, hi everyone, my name's Abby. I'm welcome to Honors. This is my first ever orientation. I'm a new Honors Ambassador for this upcoming year, so it's really exciting. I'm going into my second year in the Medical Sciences program here at UC. A little bit about me, I'm from Mansfield, Ohio, so for those of you who don't know, it's in between Columbus and Cleveland, and if you've seen the movie Shawshank Redemption, it's where the prison scenes were filmed, so that's kind of our claim to fame. When I first heard about the University Honors Program, I was a little bit apprehensive because I didn't know if it would be just like high school, a list of harder classes to take or like things to do, kind of like a checkbox, a list of things that you needed to do just to get a pretty piece of fabric over your gown at graduation. But thankfully, that was not the case. As Sharon and as Sarah both said, we really emphasize personalizing your experience to what your passions are, what your interests are. And you can really make your college experience your own. Over time, you're going to learn how to make your own honors portfolio, your own website. You're going to pick the experiences that fit your interests. And maybe you could even design your own project. That's called a self-designed honors experience, which you'll learn more about later. It's kind of like a buffet if we want to talk in terms of food metaphors, which I think are the best kinds of metaphors. Okay, so the general requirement is 5 honors experiences before graduation. And this is the bare minimum. Lots, like as Sarah said, she has up to 9. You really stop keeping track because these experiences are what your passions are, it's not like something you have to go out of your way to do because you're really fitting it to what your interests are. So mine, as you see listed there, I have Biomedical Research and Mentoring Program, or RAMP for short, Intermediate Composition, HOSA, some Undergraduate Research Fellowship, or SURF. So some of these, they might be like wacky acronyms, but just going through each of them. Intermediate Composition, it's basically like an honors English class. We read different articles. We talked about genre, discourse communities, literacy, and it's one of the many seminars being offered. As you might have seen on the honors website, we have other seminars such as like Sesame Street and digital media, Bitcoin, the opioid epidemic. So these are all things that you could pick. And these are classes, but also they include the really critical element of reflection, which we emphasize here at UHP. Next one, HOSA. Okay, so I skipped RAMP at the top because I'm going to talk about that later. HOSA stands for Health Occupation Students of America. So your high school might have had this. My high school didn't have a chapter, but we have bi-weekly meetings where we bring in different speakers from a variety of health professions, and we're listening to like their advice, their like day in the life. So we've had our biology professor, Dr. Kinkle, come in. We've had 2 students from the MD PhD program here at UC talk about their application, how their experiences are in the lab. We had a dentist come in, a microbiologist, so it's really a great experience. And the end of the year, there are different competitions you could join. You don't have to compete to be a member, but a lot of the members do end up competing in a variety of different health-related events, such as there's biomedical debate, dental terminology. I'm going to be competing in medical terminology. Our international competition is next week. So that's going to be pretty fun. Let's see, Summer Undergraduate Research Fellowship, or SURF. This was the one I was going to be working in a lab in Cincinnati this summer, but unfortunately, due to the pandemic, that wasn't really able to happen. But they did transition a lot of the different workshops and seminars online to an online platform. So we got to, so let's see, there are different events like social events such as talking about diversity, mentorship, networking, and also scientific events such as learning about immunology or flow cytometry, which is a kind of lab technique. We had a virtual mocktail hour or mocktail hour last week, and it was really fun because you got to see all these brilliant, esteemed scientists just like joking with each other, holding their wine glasses full of I don't even know what, but it was really fun to see that side of it and really see the human aspect of science. Okay, so going back to Biomedical Research and Mentoring Program, or RAMP, this was the one that I did over spring semester, just this spring. It got cut a little bit early, but the techniques and the skills that I learned, I'm sure that I'm going to be using them for the rest of my career, whether that be in academia or research or even like in medical school. So the way this program works, you have a lot of scientists and you have their postdocs. So that means like they got their PhDs or their graduate students who are willing to take on an undergraduate student who really didn't have much experience in research before, take them under their wing in their lab and show them their projects, show them how to perform different assays and different techniques, and maybe like over time learn to give them more independence in the lab and maybe devise their own projects. So we had a meet and greet back in December, I think, and we were able to look at what these mentors were doing and apply to up to 5. So then there was a whole interview process, and in the end, I got matched with a pulmonary biology lab at Cincinnati Children's. The principal investigator's name is Dr. Kalin, and my mentor's name is Dr. Shukla. So this has been a really great experience because I've never really had any research experience before coming to college. I didn't even know what research really was besides like, I don't know, like a book report or something in high school. But I've learned so many new lab techniques such as like PCR, paraffin sectioning, or performing dissections on mice models. But more importantly, I learned about like the professional and the social aspect of things such as professional communication through emails, setting up appointments with your lab PI, interviewing, connecting, troubleshooting in the lab. A lot of things go wrong, but you learn to be able to identify those. And I think these skills that you learn can really be applied wherever you are, even if you aren't a biology major, chemistry major, or medical sciences major. We had an economics major in this program, and she really loved it because these skills, they can really carry you throughout and like make you think more like a scientist or more like whatever field you're going into. So lastly, my advice is wear sunscreen. That's kind of a joke, but kind of true also. When you come to college, you have all these experiences, you have all these new opportunities, but remember to take care of yourself out there and eat well, sleep enough, and yeah, that's all I have for me.
All right, so now we're going to just hold space for any questions that you may have. I understand that there's been a few questions in our Q&A, but we'll just hold some space for you all to compose those questions, and then we can read them out loud and address any questions that you have. So there was a question that said, when will we know when the honors trips are for the year? And so unfortunately, but as a safety precaution to keep everyone safe, we know for sure that the fall semester won't contain any type of travel, international travel. So that will be something that we will review semester by semester. And I think it's just one of those things where we're going to, pay attention to the governor's orders, and also our president, so President Pinto. But we get updates and we review things monthly. But as far as those trips, like for example, I was supposed to be a part of a study tour to Montreal in December, and so that is actually canceled. So I think it's just one of those things where we're in a new normal. The pandemic is still present. And we're also, waiting to see what's going to happen with, I believe in October and November, it's supposed to kind of increase in cases potentially. So it's just a way to keep everyone, just safety measures at this point. And we'll hold about 2 minutes for a few more questions. Okay, so there was a question about, can you dorm with a non-honors roommate? And so for me, the best thing that I can do is refer that to the housing department, because they have more of the information as far as what that will look like. I know that there are ways for you to stay with a non-honors student. I just don't know for sure if that's in fact Marion Spencer. So Abby or Sarah, do you know if Marion Spencer allows that?
As far as I know, when asked previously, only honor students can live on honors floors.
Okay, got it.
So if you have a non-honors roommate, you cannot live on an honors floor.
Okay. And I also know, so last year there's a little bit of confusion because there used to be an honors living learning community, and that's different than just being able to stay in various dorms on an honors floor. So if you see any literature or if you heard about the honors living learning community that took place last year, that will not take place this year. So that living learning community, we're going to take a break. Living learning communities are relatively new at the University of Cincinnati, and so we realized we're very intentional, and so in order to do that really, really well, we wanted to have more staff and create more programs. So instead, those programs will just be funneled through the seminars and the opportunities that our program currently offers. So I wanted to add that distinction. So there was a question of, are there opportunities for long-term research via university honors program? And if so, how do you go about finding them? So for me, the first thing that I would do as a incoming student, we have on our website, if you go to our university honors page, click on current students, and then you'll click on, I believe it's experiences, and you'll be able to see the pre-approved tab, the seminars tab, and the self-design tab. My first thing would be to click on the pre-approved tab, and there's a full extensive list of those pre-approved opportunities. There are some pre-approved research opportunities, some of which our students Sarah and Abby touched on, are examples of pre-approved. But there are ways for you to engage in summer internships, and then you can actually work with the faculty to see about how you can make that more of a long-term partnership. So I failed to mention my title, and I made it less about me, but 2 years ago I started working with UHP as an assistant director and honors advisor. And faculty members would reach out to me and instantly say, hey, I'm looking for, a student who's willing to do long-term research in economics. And so sometimes the faculty also partner with the student one-on-one and create those opportunities. So we have those prepackaged research opportunities, but then students also continue to work with the faculty to meet their research goals and your personal goals as a researcher. With that, Sarah, Abby, did you all have anything that you wanted to add on that from experience or just friends that you know that have done research?
For research, there is an office that we actually have a research office that's dedicated to connecting students with professors for research. So if you're not connecting through honors, there is a lot of resources available where they can set up a meeting and figure out which research is the best for you. So you have a lot of resources both through the honors office and just through the university.
Gotcha. Perfect, perfect. So then the next question that we had, so I'm going to be reading and then just kind of going through each one. So one question said, what qualifies as an activity as an honors experience? And so for this, we have our Gateway course that you'll register for, and it literally is a full semester course that will explain the nitty-gritty of that. But in short, let's say if you were creating your own experience and you did the self-design proposal, an experience would qualify if it was 75 hours or more, something that was intentional, reflective, and connected to purpose. And so we have 5 competency areas. And Sarah and Abby, if I forget one of them towards the end, let me know. But our 5 competency areas are leadership, creativity, research, community engagement, and international. Sarah, Abby.
I should probably know this, but I always forget the last one.
I always do this. I always forget the last one, but I think it's something around like international affairs, research.
Oh, isn't it global community?
Global studies.
Global studies, that's what it is.
Global studies, teamwork. So again, it's leadership, creativity, community engagement, global studies, and see, it just happens when you get to that 5th one, but those are listed on our website as well. So with the self-design proposal, 75 hours or more, connected to those 5 competency areas, and you have to create some goals around that. So a quick example I can give you, I work with our business and nursing students. A lot of my business students, they do co-ops, and then we have them create some goals outside of the basic co-op. So it could be shadowing in another department and taking on additional projects that aren't a part of the basic co-op opportunity. It could be going to networking events, going to coffee and meeting with other people to learn and research further if that's a profession that the student wants to grow in. We've also had a student that went to Nepal and taught English to Buddhist monks. So that's the fancy one. It's not one that we see every single day, but it's literally the sky's the limit. So we want students to also explore their passions, explore their interests. I have another student who's a nursing student, and she's making face masks right now, and she made 100 face masks, and she isn't selling them. She's literally donating them. And so her experience is all about learning how to sew, how to step in during a pandemic, making face masks, also reflecting on how she is preparing herself to be safe when she drops those face masks off. So there's a variety of different things that you can do based off of your passion and interest areas. And then with the pre-approved, we take care of that. We take care of the reflection, how long it will be, the content, the seminars, the same. You'll have a syllabus that you'll follow. So the self-design is the only one where you can mirror your interests and put it on paper and have it approved, reviewed and approved. So little lengthy, it's a little layered, but we'll go over that with you in Gateway. So there are a few questions in terms of honors calculus and the MPT, and so for that we're going to have you go and visit your academic advisor or set up a virtual appointment via Starfish. So there's more that we can touch on just on a one-on-one basis for that question.
And I can answer some of the housing questions as a tour guide. That's a little bit more in my purview.
Mm-hmm.
So for those of you who don't have a specific roommate automatically assigned, which is one of the questions, the way that our housing works is you pick a bed in a room in a hall. So if you don't choose a roommate, you will be automatically assigned. So you get to choose your room and your bed, and then whoever chooses the bed next to you is your random assignment if you don't create a group and decide to pair with someone else. For those of you with questions about when you choose, if you already have a roommate in mind, you can complete the majority of the housing portfolio and then create groups so that you'll be linked with your roommates. But because the university just recently decided that we would be coming back in the fall, they have not yet put out the dates for when you can choose your housing assignment. But the order in which people get to choose their housing assignment will be based on the order that they registered for housing when you committed in the spring.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I think that's all the housing questions.
Yes, and I went through the entire list, and so I think we've made our way through our questions, and so now we just have some housekeeping items. So I know that we spoke about the Gateway course, and so what you're going to do is just make sure, actually okay, so what you want to do is make sure that you're registered for Gateway. So this is that class that meets 50 minutes every single week. You will actually be working with an honors advisor. So we have 4 honors advisors right now. I mentioned that I'm working with business and nursing, but we are also down 1 staff member. So I have a portion of engineering students as well. When you take Gateway, you may not be with your major advisor. So just know that they're an honors advisor, but they may not be your specific advisor in terms of your major. So Bria Howard, for example, she works with DAP and CCM. You may have her as your Gateway instructor, but you might be a business major. So that is a course that will take place in the fall. Right now, we know that those courses will be virtual, and so you want to make sure that you register. The code is, so it's HNRS 1010, and so you want to make sure that you're registered for that this fall. We also have a few other seminars for you to consider. And so I want to make sure, Sarah and Abby, are you able to see this gray slide? Okay, perfect. So here is just a list of some relatively new seminars for you to consider. This is a perfect example of a seminar that counts as an honors experience. So if you're already thinking about, hey, you know, my first semester, I want to start working on an honors experience, this could be a possibility. I also wanted to have you all know that the Gateway course that you register for, that is a course that is educational and it doesn't count as an honors experience. It is more so the instruction manual, the instruction manual course to teach you all about how our honors program works and operates. And then from there, students are required to complete 5 honors experiences by the time you graduate. But Gateway is not one of those courses because it's one of those foundation core courses to teach you the lay of the land. And we'll cover all of that in the Gateway course as well. I also know that a lot of what we're talking about, you might want to know the answers right now. And so I encourage you just to visit our university honors page. We have a requirements tab that you can select. Also click on the current students tab so that way you can see the 3 experience types that we mentioned. And then for our final, I believe this is our final slide. And it's just a reminder to let you know that in early August, a current student will email you with an invite to join us in learning more about our program and how to get further involved. So we have an honors listserv, and so that way every single week you'll get an announcement and it'll tell you about new seminars, new opportunities, research opportunities. Sometimes we get companies will email us and say that they're looking for new hire in a set area. So you'll want to make sure that you're all set up and a part of that listserv announcement. But again, that email won't come until early August. So we recognize you all are enjoying your summer as much and as safe as possible, but definitely check, around August. Start checking your email, a little sooner before we all resume. So at this point, that is all that we have in terms of our presentation. I invite you all to, if there are additional questions that you have, definitely you can reach out to your SET honors advisor. So we also have a contact page on our university honors website, and so it has all of us there. Again, my name is Shannon Cunningham, Assistant Director and Honors Advisor for Business and Nursing and a portion of Engineering. But you'll definitely want to check out that tab. We have our bios there. Some of our student staff will look a little different due to the precautions that we're taking this fall. But we have tons of opportunities for our students to work with our department, whether it be as a new hire position or an honors experience. So I'd like to thank you all for joining us, and Sarah and Abby, thank you for sharing your talents and your experiences with our students. So congratulations, you are a University Honors student and a Bearcat. Thank you.